picture of Calista that she was extraordinarily difficult, a problem child that caused so many troubles that she had to be restrained, or when you were looking more apparently by your decision, you saw her more as a little girl who had a few problems in school, but was not out of the way difficult, was more of a happy child.
I think that she was a challenged child. I think that she had some problems. I don't think that she was as bad as we were told. I think that she needed therapy and treatment. But I think that she was a little girl. And I don't know.
Yeah, I think that she definitely had challenges with her PDD, which is a type of autism, and that needs to be treated, especially. She was different. She wasn't less. I kept saying that. Calista was different, not less.
You did believe that she had PDD?
Yes.
Yeah.
As a group?
Yes.
I don't think we're ever going to know exactly what she was like. I mean, I'm sure there are some things that the school didn't see, her friends didn't see, that maybe the Springers did, but we're just never going to know exactly what it was like. But
in the closing statements, Mr. Bland suggested that some of the government agencies were in part responsible. How did you feel about that?
I 100% fully agree with him. I feel that maybe they should have been up there with the Springers, because I think that they failed Calista. I think as a parent, it's very hard to see that your child needs help and not know what to do for them, but it doesn't excuse the Springers' actions.
I agree.
Pretty much all felt that.
yes.
Yes. I think we had all talked that we feel Calista was let down by DHS, definitely. And I
By a
think
lot of
I
people.
think it's unfortunate, but I think a lot of
CMH.
children slip through the cracks at DHS.
When you had asked earlier about what the hardest, or if there was a witness or a part that was especially hard, that was probably my hardest day, when Pat Skelding and then her boss, they knew,
Cindy Bear.
they knew about the restraining. They knew about it, and for oversight, read the report, didn't read the reports, but it was signed off on. They knew about it, and that was very hard to accept.
Did you feel that there may have been a couple of things, well, 2 or 3, 4 things that were not pursued more intently and you wish they were? Like, for example, the fire extinguisher that was supposed to be
Yes.
Absolutely. Also, 4 times the therapeutic dose of Benadryl.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely, the Benadryl. That was a big one for me.
The fire extinguishers, and you actually just tapped on 2 of the main things that we wish
The
we knew
Benadryl was
more.
a very big one.
Yep.
I
Discuss about that.
I just wish I would have had more explanation on the Benadryl level. I take Benadryl on a regular basis, so I know how high 200 milligrams are, and I understand it's not a lethal dose, but I would have liked an expert to explain to me what the effects would have been under that amount. And I felt like we didn't get enough information with that.
I agree.
The homeschooling, do you think that had any impact on your decision, Marcia, homeschooling Calista, pulling her away from home?
My personal opinion is I don't feel that Calista was homeschooled properly.
We feel that there were at least 2 years missing from Callista's life, and that she was isolated totally from the community. She was withdrawn from school. She did not have any medical or any other type of therapy and treatment.
I think what it kind of came down to, as far as the homeschooling is concerned, one of the reasons that Tony had given for pulling her out of school was that they were only addressing the educational issues and not the behavioral. And yet, for that period of time when she was homeschooled, there doesn't seem to be much evidence where she was in a social setting to work on these behavioral issues, or there was any therapy. And that truly, that kind of brings a lot of doubt into the whole homeschool process, which is difficult because I believe in homeschooling, and I think this kind of maybe is going to shed a little bit of a dark light on that, and that's unfortunate for people who do homeschooling correctly. Absolutely,
Definitely.
absolutely. I
I-
think, if homeschooling works for some people,
Yeah.
it doesn't for others, and that's really for the parents to decide.
We're not saying homeschooling's bad. I'm actually an advocate. I know a lot of kids that are homeschooled and they do very well. I don't think that Calista was exactly a candidate for that, though.
I don't think that they really proved to us that she was being homeschooled. I didn't see enough evidence that she was.
No, when asked about what they were doing for homeschooling, Tony's question back to the attorney was, are you referring to the distribution or the grading? And what we wanted to know is, no, the teaching. Where was the teaching? And he couldn't give anything. He said he was home for a month before, he was laid off for a month, and yet when asked about the schooling, the homeschooling, well, they started in the morning and then they went till whenever, and that was the answer. And that, for being home for a month, even if Marcia was teaching, he couldn't provide anything to substantiate that, and that was really difficult.
And also the only
You were the alternate juror.
Yes.
What did you think when you were the biggest loser the day before? You got picked on that.
When the day before, when I sensed things were starting to wrap up, I was praying that I would be the alternate, because I knew that this was going to be very complex and emotional, and I didn't know how we were going to come to any type of resolution. So I was relieved, and then for 3 days, and then when my cell phone rang and I was called back, it shook me, that's for sure. But then I just knew that it was my responsibility and I had to do it.
How many of you are parents? So all but one. Did that have any, do you believe that the fact that your parents, did that have any effect on how you decided in this trial, or how you weighed the evidence, or how you came to your decision?
Most definitely.
I think it made it a lot more difficult because of what the case was. It made it a lot harder for us.
Yeah, definitely. It was
Emotional.
Very emotional.
Very.
very emotional. That actually being a parent made it. But it also gave you an insight to child raising and the way things should be done and the way they shouldn't be done. So it was a good thing and a bad thing. I wouldn't trade being a parent for the world.
Will this trial affect you the rest of your lives?
Definitely.
Yes.
Absolutely.